Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, my friends over at Yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the crochet emoji pillows. The title of this video is the one that we'll be concentrating on after we do the main body of your emoji pillow. So each one of the bodies that you see are exactly the same, and then the rest of the part of the tutorial will either be the sunglass one here that says cool, you could have the love button one here, or you could have the one that's tears of joy. So let's go into this pattern in more detail. We're going to create the faces of them. They're all the same. I'm going to teach you a way to be able to do these faces that they're pretty easy without a lot of counting involved as well. So let's take a look closer into this pattern first, and then we're going to get involved then more in detail. So page 1 and part of number 2 up here is the actual pillow itself. It's the yellow form that you see. So you're going to need a 14-inch pillow form. Now I had trouble because I'm in a smaller community. I had trouble actually getting the round pillows. So what I decided to do is that I went over to Michael's. They didn't have it, and nor did they have a 14-inch even pillow frame. So I got a 16-inch, and then I kind of wrapped it to bring it back into shape. I know this is so bad, but you know what, a crocheter needs to do what a crocheter needs to do. So I have wrapped it to get myself to the right inches, and therefore it's nice and firm. Now while I was at a major store, they had all these emoji pillows, but when you push on them there's nothing to them. They don't bounce back. So the advantage to making your own is that you can at least control the fluffiness of your pillow when you're going to make it. So number 2, the page number 2 is going to take you all the way there, but I'm going to teach you an easy way to be able to count that out so that you don't have to really blow a lot of brain cells. The rest of this pattern has all of the different information. It starts off with the heart eyes pillow that you see, and then it has the heart, and then the mouth, and etc. And then at each one of these individual motifs have a border around it. Then you go to the laughing, crying pillow, so tears of joy, and then you end up then with the cool sunglass emoji there on the end of the page number 3. But don't get too wrapped up into so many words. We're gonna break it down today, try to make it as easy as possible. So let's go first into doing the main body of the yellow, and I'm gonna teach you an easy way to be able to remember. So let's get started on the pillow face. So first of all, you're going to notice it's not gonna sit flat. This is the good side of the project. You notice it's gonna bowl out on you. So if you're thinking it's gonna sit flat, don't worry about it. It's not going to. It's meant to keep that shape. Now as we grow this thing out, you're going to notice that there's consistency in the way that it grows, and I'm gonna show you my little homemade diagram. You're going to be able to count by the time you get to the edge here 13 rounds. So if you just count, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So both of the pillow faces, so you have to do the front and the back, will end up with 13 rounds that have the growth going out. The final round, number 14, is just gonna be 1 double crochet then to go all the way around to finalize it, and you'll do the same with both of the sides. So you're going to notice that the way that this grows is very unusual. If you're new to crochet, you're not even gonna know about it, but if you're an experienced crocheter, the way that they have you starting each one of the rows or each one of the rounds is kind of unusual. It's not impossible, and in actual fact it's probably easier too. So here's my homemade little diagram. We're gonna start off with chaining of 4, and we're gonna put 17 double crochets into this beginning chain. This gives you, with this chaining of 3 here and the 17, that gives you a total of 18. So you can see that it's kind of a weird number, and because it's a weird number, it creates that bowling shape that we want, that creates that rounded face look. You're then going to go up into round number 2, and you're going to chain up 3 and then double crochet into the same one, and then the next one will be 1 double crochet by itself, and then the next one will have 2. So it'll be 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and so on all the way around. Here's where it changes the path slightly. So as you get into round number 3 and beyond all the way to 13, you're going to notice that the way that you start, usually in crochet, most of us know, is that you usually chain 3 and then there's another double crochet in the beginning one. This one, the designer has not got you to do that. The designer has getting you to delay the growth just for a spurt. So in actual fact you're in between 2 growth spurts of this. So you're gonna chain up 3, and then the next one will be 2, and then there will be 2 by themselves, and then 2 into the same, 2 by themselves, and 2 into the same. When you come back around, you're going to notice that there is a double crochet just before you finish, so these equal your 2 that's in between the growth spurts. Then as you continue then into your next growth, you chain up 3, and then there's gonna be 1 by itself, and then 2, and then this time there will be 3 and 2, 3 and 2, and when you get back around, so you got 1 that's by itself, you got the chain of 3 and there, so you can see it's 3 and then 2. So how do you look at this and be able to remember all that on the way that you're starting because you're in the middle of the growth? Look towards the 2 double crochets that sit in the same one. The second one will always have the growth of putting in 2. So let's go back down here. So you have chaining a 3 and then there's 1 into the same one. So then second one of that one gets the growth. See? The second one gets the growth. No matter where you are, the second one gets the growth. Do you see that? And if you can keep an eye on that in your pattern, you don't even need to count because you'll be able to work it out and you'll be able to crochet a lot faster. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna get you started on this concept and then I'm gonna have you go all the way to 13 for me and then we'll meet you back up, finish off number 14 and then insert our pillow frame today. So using a 4mm size G and your Caron Simply Soft, I'm using a 4.5mm size G as well, or US 7, and what this is it's Caron 1 pound just for that. I just didn't have the right color so I just substituted. So I'm going to just create my slip knot to begin and I'm gonna chain a total of 4. So let's begin. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm gonna go into the very first chain and I'm gonna put in 17 double crochets there. So you just wrap the hook and then going into the 4th one and then just double crochet. So what I want you to do is count 18. So the first one, chain 3, counts as 1 and then this is 2. And I want you to keep everything nice and tight. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12 and we're running out of space so there's 12 there. So just kind of yank on it. So I had 12 and I'm doing 13, 14 and I just keep moving it. 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. So with that chaining of 3 plus the 17 double crochets that gives you 18. So let's just double count. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Once you're satisfied, just slip stitch to the top of the first, chain 3 and come over and through and through. So let's now begin round number 2. So round number 2 we're going to start our growth. So we're gonna chain up 3 this time and this is the only one where it will happen, but you will put another one into the same one that you did the join. So another double crochet there. And then the next one is 1 double crochet by itself. Okay, and now the next one has 2 double crochets into it. Do you follow that pattern? Okay, so remember, so it's 1 by itself and then 2. 1 and 2. Please do that all the way around for round number 2. When you get all the way around and you're still keeping in count, the last stitch, and if you looked at my diagram, will be 1 double crochet by itself. Then you slip stitch to the top of the first, chain 3 and pull nice and tight and then you're done. So now let's move up to round number 3. So this time you're going to chain up 3, but we're not gonna put a double crochet right into the same one. We're going to go over 1 and then you're gonna put 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2. So the remaining of round number 3 is that there's gonna be 2 double crochets by itself. So 1 and 2 and then the next one has 2 into the same one. So that's the repeat pattern for round number 3. Okay, so to review one more time. So there's gonna be 2 by themselves. So 1 and 2 and 2 into the next one. Please do that all the way around for round number 3. So as I get back around the last stitch, I got 2 into the same, the ones by itself. Here's a secret. No matter what round you're on, there will always be 2 into the second last stitch because that's the growth, and the last one will always be 1 by itself. That just happens to be in this pattern. Just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. So moving up to round number 4, so hopefully you're understanding how this growth is working. So you're gonna chain up 3 and then you're going to look towards the second of the 2 that are into the same one. That's the one that will always have 2 into it as you're growing these out. So if you turn, see the next 2? It's the second one that will always have 2 double crochets. If you're looking for that, it's just a lot easier than it is for you to sit there and count. So visually it's awesome. So the next one, see, has to be by itself because it's the first one of where the 2 are in there. Looking at the diagram, that's also true. So this is the second one of the 2. So this one will be 2 into the same. So noticing I'm not telling you how many stitches, I'm telling you to look. Okay, so you're going to look here. So how many stitches are by themselves before you're putting in the 2? 1, 2, 3, and then this one has 2. You can count it. It's up to you. It's your business. It's your creativity. But if you know how to look for stuff like this, you can sit there and watch TV and kind of listen without having to be so concentrated that you will probably not mess up. So what I want you to do is that I want you to go continually around as you do this, and I want you to get 13 rounds. So you can see 1, 2, 3, this is partial of a fourth, and you're gonna go all the way to 13 growing it out. And every time you hit these 2, it's always the second one that will have 2 double crochets into it. When I come back, I'm gonna have that done for you, and what I'm gonna do is take you to round number 14, which is the final round of completing your pillow. So please do that now and put me on hold. Now eventually you'll get to this particular spot and you'll have 13 of these rounds done, and you'll be able to count those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Now technically you would not have fastened off. I did because I was working on tutorial work, but you will just continue up and you will just chain your 3. So 1, 2, 3, and the final round, number 14, is each going to get 1 double crochet each. There's no growth, and this will then stabilize it and finalize it for the final round. So place in 1 double crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. Ignore the growth, and I will see you at the end of this round. We're gonna then you're gonna make 2 of these, and then we're going to insert our pillow. So I've come all the way back around, and I'm just going to join it then into the first one. Now what I want you to do is, if this is your second one, just stay attached. If not, just fasten off and then start your second one. So for myself, I actually have a second one ready to go, and I want to make sure that the sides are facing each other properly. So right now this is the good side of the project. I'm looking at the bad side of the project, so I'm looking at the wrong side. So right side, wrong side. The next one I want to place on here is that I want the right side facing up and then the wrong side on the inside. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put these together, and I'm gonna do it in a way so that the right sides are exposed on either side of the project. So right where I have the slip knot or the slip stitching going on, I want to insert into the first one. So I'm going to chain 1 first, sorry. Chain 1, insert into the first one, and then go into the other one here into the first one of this side. And I want to just single crochet these together, so there's no sewing involved in these. So just go to the next one on the first one and the next one on the second. You should not have any extra stitches if your stitch counts are right and you've done it exactly as each other. So what you want to do is that you want to go halfway of just single crocheting these together, and then we're going to insert our pillow frame. So let me get halfway and I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm now around the halfway spot. So what I'm gonna take is the pillow and I'm going to insert it inside here. Now I wrapped those so that it was taking more of a shape. So if I'm thinking that I've wrapped it too tight, I can just release those off, but I'm not gonna do that until I get near to the end to see how far the shaping is going to be there. So what I'm gonna do now is continue to just sew these, sorry, just single crochet these shut, and I will be back in just a moment. So as I get closer, I can see that I'm a little bit loose. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna take my scissors and cut this, because the way that I wrapped it, it will release all of the strings, and I just gotta give it a good fluff, and all the pressure for that will relax itself. So that's what I'm gonna do for that particular spot. So I will continue then to single crochet this shut. So as you come back around, you're just gonna eventually slip stitch to the first one. Now I'm gonna tell you a little bit about these strings that I released, because this pillow is no longer appearing round. It's appearing more of a square shape with rounded edges. I'm not worried about that. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you live in a community that doesn't have round pillow frames forms, that's what you just gotta do. Now to get rid of this final strand, you were just going to insert your needle onto the yarn strand, and then just staying on the outside edge, just drag it through underneath the stitches. Try not to impede that outside edge. So go once, twice, and 3 times. So now we're ready to apply our faces, but we gotta make them first. And I wanna show you what this looks like, and then we're gonna continue as promised as the video tutorial. And you're gonna wanna fluff your pillow and make it look as good as you can get it now. And now we're gonna apply the faces. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's more of a square kind of idea with rounded edges. I'm not too worried about it. People get that it's an emoji. So what I'm gonna do is that we're going to move on in the tutorial depending on where you are. You're gonna apply your shapes to it, and we're gonna be doing all the shapes then, and it's gonna match the one that we're gonna be doing for today's tutorial. So let's begin to do the next part of this tutorial. So we're now gonna move on in the tutorial, and we are going to do the tears of joy, where we're gonna be adding in tears, and then you got a mouth that is over expressive, just like you see with the teeth line. And if you do everything completely right, it actually looks really amazing. We're gonna be doing some eyebrows near to the top. Look how everything's coming together. And then you're gonna do the eyes like so, and just use the picture to be able to put things together so that it makes sense to you. So it's just more like, yeah. So what I want to do is that we're gonna start off each section of these motifs. There's a total of 2 eyes, 2 eyebrows, 2 tears, and 1 mouth for obvious reasons. But if you want to make your own creativity, that's completely up to you. So without further ado, let's begin and start this emoji. So this emoji has tears of joy. So what we're going to do is that we're gonna start off in the bottom, get ourselves fatter, and then work our way progressively as we get narrow, and then do 1 whole circulation of single crochets, and we're gonna be doing that next. So let's do your tears. You need a total of 2 of them, and I already have 1 done just so I understand the pattern. So let's begin, and get your pattern handy because it might just be easier to check it off as you go. So let's begin. We're going to start off with a slip knot. I got the pattern just off camera. You can't see it, and I got my pencil handy, and I'm just checking it off as I go. So let's begin. You're gonna start off with your slip knot, and you're going to chain a total of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Second chain from the hook, I want you to single crochet. So just count it back and go in the back hump of the chain. So there's gonna be a total of 5 stitches by the time you get back across. So this is number 3, 4, and 5. Keeping on the back hump keeps both of them looking awesome. You're gonna turn your work on. Now let's begin rows number 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a total of 4 rows, and all you're just going to do here is that you are going to increase. So you're gonna make it fatter. So chain 1, and the first 2 will be the first one has 2 single crochets, and then the rest of them are all singles except for the very final. If you've done the heart eyes, this is the same kind of way. So 2 into the very end. So 2 into the beginning, 1 into each except for the end. It's got 2. So let's turn our work. This is row number 3. Chain up 1, 2 into the first one, and then 1 into each of the rest of them except for the very final one. You'll put in 2 there. This is row 3. So 2 into the final. Turn your work. I'm just gonna check it off that I did it. Number 4, chain up 1 and 2 into the first one, and then 1 into each of the rest except for the very final. That'll have 2. Okay, 2 into the last one. That was row number 4. Turn your work, check it off. Number 5. Row number 5, same thing. So there should be a total of 13 stitches. So you got 2 into the first one. So let's just say now that's 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the last one has 2. So 12, and 13. So 13 is the magic number. That's why I counted that out. And turn your work, and now let's go from rows number 6 through 9. So rows number 6, 7, 8 and 9, 4 rows is just chain up 1 and it's just 1 single crochet in each going all the way across. Then turn your work, chain up 1, 1 single crochet in each. Please do 4 rows of just that. I'll see you back here in just a moment. So now my 4 rows are complete with just 1 single crochet in each going across. So now we're gonna get narrow, but we're gonna take our time. So every other row is just a regular row and the other rows are decreases. So let's begin row number 10. So the chain up 1 and you're gonna put the first 2 together. So just going in, pull through, go into the next one, pull through all 3 loops, and that 2 just became 1, and you're going to single crochet yourself all the way across except for the very final 2 where you're gonna put those together. If you've done other emoji pillows you probably know how to do this already as well. It's all about shaping, right? So the very final 2, put those together. So in, pull through, in, pull through all 3 loops. That was row number 10. So row number 11 is just 1 single crochet in each. So chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in each, and then we're gonna just turn and then begin number 12. So turn your work. I'm just gonna check this off. Number 12 is a decrease. So chain up 1, put the first 2 together, single crochet in each of the rest except for the very final 2. You're gonna put those together as well. Okay, there's the other last 2. Put those together. That was row number 12. Turn your work. Row number 13, just 1 single crochet in each. So chain 1, 1 single in each. Just gonna check that I did it. I would check even if I wasn't on camera, by the way, just so you know. Just make sure I don't lose count. Okay, and that was row number 13. Number 14 we're gonna decrease. So chain up 1, put the first 2 together, and then single crochet the rest across except for the final 2. Okay, put the final 2 together. That was 14. Turn. Number 15 is just chain of 1, 1 single crochet in each. Turn. Check that off. Number 16 is a decrease. So chain up 1, put the first 2 together. I'll try that again. Put the remaining as single crochets except for the final 2. Turn your work. That was 16. And number 17 is as the 11th row, so it's just chain up 1, 1 single crochet in each. Okay, turn your work. Number 18, just put the 18 is what? Oh, chain up 1, put the first 2 together. Sorry, I got distracted in my mind. So put the first 2 together. Okay, and then the next one's by itself, and then put the last 2 together. It gives you a total count of 3 stitches, just so you know. Turn your work, and the very final one is 3 together. So chain up 1 and put the first one, the second one, and the final one together. And then that's it. But you're not gonna fasten off. What you want to do then is just carry on. So just chain up 1 and just follow it down the side of your teardrop. And just follow equally all the way down, and then when you get back to the top, which I'll see you back here, you're going to place in 3 single crochets at the very top to make sure that you maintain that point. So just follow it around, 1 single crochet in each of the sides of the rows, and then at the bottom, and then back up the other side. I'll see it there. I'll see you at the point of the top of the teardrop next. So the next one is the very top of the teardrop, and I'm putting in 3. So 1, 2, and 3, and that keeps the point looking pointy, and then just slip stitch to the first one and then you're done. I want you to leave an extra long yarn tail that you can use to sew this particular teardrop to the top face of the pillow. Just pull through the loop. You're gonna make a total of 2 of these teardrops, and so I have 2 now, and now I'm good to go, and I'm going to move on in the face, and let's begin the next section. So we're now going to move on to the eyes. It's a matter of just 2 rows to make the eyes. It's gonna go across and then back, so it's just really quite easy, and what you want to do is leave an extra long yarn strand like the rest of them so that you can sew that to the pillow. You'll need 2 eyes, so let's begin to do 2 eyes. Sorry that it's black, it is an emoji after all, and we are going to do a chaining of 14. So you need 2 eyes. So let's just do 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And watch what we're going to do. So let's begin row number 1. Let's breathe and let's go. Okay, so 1 single crochet, second chain from the hook. So let's do that. So just count it back, second chain, get the back hump of the chain in the second one. So just get the first one there, and then it says 1 single crochet in each of the next 5. So let's just do the next 5 in a row. So let's count those out together. So 1, keeping in the back hump, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then it has a new instruction. So once you get your 5 in there, 3 single crochets in the next chain. So let's put 3 into this one. So this will cause the turn. So this is 2 and 3, and now it's gonna be 1 single crochet in the remaining 6 stitches that exist, or 6 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 3, that was 4, 5, and 6. So let's turn your work and do row number 2. So it's the last row. So it says chain 1 and put the first 2 together. So it's kind of like we did the tiers. So just put the first 2 together, single crochet 2 together, and then it says to put in 1 single crochet in each of the next 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next one is the top middle of the grouping of 3. You're gonna put in 3 single crochets to maintain that. So 1, 2, and 3, and then you're going to then single crochet all the way back to the next, all the way back down. There's 5 in a row first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's 2 stitches left. You're gonna put those 2 together for a single crochet 2 together, and guess what? You're done. So you're just gonna fasten this off, leave an extra long yarn strand so that you can sew it down to your pillow, and then get rid of any other loose ends. So get rid of your other loose ends here, and then you're good to go. So you would have to make 2 sets of eyes for that. So just get rid of this strand here, just use a tapestry needle, and then sew it down to your pillow when you're ready. So the next part is eyebrows. So you need a total of 2 of those. Really quite simple. 2 rows again, just like the eyes were, but there's no bend and there's a slightly different count. So let's begin eyebrows, make 2. Let's begin to make eyebrows, and you are chaining a total of 12 to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Second chain from the hook, you're going to do 1 single crochet all the way back. Once you're all the way back to the last one, turn your work, last row, chain up 1 and do 1 single crochet in each of the stitches all the way across. Leave an extra long yarn strand at the end of that so that you can sew that into position, and then get rid of the starting strand with the tapestry needle to hide that in as well. So this is how easy it is to do the eyebrows, and then we are going to move on to the mouth. The mouth requires 2 colors. It require white and black, and there's a strategic way of doing it. So once you're at the very end, just fasten off, leave an extra long yarn tail, pull through, and then you're ready to sew, and then just hide this one with the tapestry needle. So then you'll have 2 sets of eyebrows in order to play with. So here's the mouth, and this is the final piece for this particular emoji. Now when you go to crochet it, you're gonna be upside down and starting big and working your way more narrow. We're actually going to start off completely with white, and then the final border is black, and so it looks like you would start off with black, but you don't. So let's grab our white and let's do our rows of white, and then we're gonna continue. It's very similar to the other mouth of the other emoji, but in this case we have a Colgate smile, I guess. So let's begin to do this mouth. Sorry about the white and the white background. Unfortunately that happens with emojis, I guess. You have the colors you don't, that really kind of stand out, but then it's kind of hard when you're filming them as well. So we're just starting off with the slip knot. I want you to chain 27. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There you go. So we're gonna go second chain from the hook. I want you to place in 1 single crochet in each of those from the second chain. Just go in the back hump of the chain, and then just do that all the way back across. I'll see you back there in just a moment. So I'm coming up to the end of the chain. Now rows number 2 and 3 are going to be identical to each other. You just gotta do it. So at the end just turn your work, and now chain up 1, and it's 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across, and then chain or turn your work and do the same thing. Chain 1 single crochet all the way across. Please do now rows 2 and 3. I'll see you at the end of row number 3, and then that'll be it for this white. So I'm at the end of number 3, so I'm just going to just trim, and I'm gonna pull that loop through, and then I'm going to turn my project and then begin black then for row number 4. So the next row is essentially black, so I'm just gonna create a slip knot to begin, and it's the same thing that I just did. So just attach in, and then just single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across now, but using black as you go. So please do that now, and I'll see you at the end of this row. So I'm at the end of the row. I'm gonna turn, and I'm gonna do one more row of just regular single crochet. So chain up 1 single crochet in each all the way to the end. I will see you there at the end, and then we're gonna start doing our decreasing like we did with the other mouth as well. Well, if you ever did that tutorial. So let's begin that next. So 1 single crochet in each across. So we got that done, and now we're gonna go and beginning our decreasing. So the decreasing is just gonna matter of repeating rows 1 and 2 over and over, and we're gonna cover that in just a moment, but let's get ourselves started first before we rush ahead. So the first row in the decrease is chain up 1 and put the first 2 together. So insert in, pull through, go to the next one, pull through all 3 loops, and you're just gonna single crochet in each of the stitches going all the way across, except for the very final 2. You're gonna put those 2 together. I have a cat hair. Oh, sorry. I have a cat hair in my project. You know, there's one of those things you just gotta pull it out because it's bothering you. Yep. It's kind of me right now. So there we go. So we're just gonna continue along after I get over my issue. So essentially 2 rows are gonna be repeating itself after we get them done first. So this row we're doing a decrease, so we're creating the mouth to narrow in. So the very final 2 stitches when you hit this row is gonna be 2 together. And then the second row is just chain up 1 and 1 single crochet in each. So what I want you to do is that we need to repeat this 2 more times. So you gotta repeat row 1 and 2, and then repeat it again 1 and 2, and just keep an eye on which one is your decreasing, which is number 1, and 2 is just a regular stitch across. Please do all that next, and then I'll see you at the end of that section, and we'll be right back. So now that I repeated it 2 more times, you can actually kind of see it. There's once and then twice, and I don't know if you can see it in the light there on your screen at home, but it's there. So now row number 7 is another decreasing row, and row number 7 is going to be repeating itself 4 more times after it gets done. So just put the first 2 together, and then just single crochet across, and then put the last 2 together, and I need you to repeat. Once you get that done, just repeat it 4 more times, and then your mouth would then be complete. So I'm just getting myself to the end. put the final 2 together, turn your work, and now 4 more times of just put the first 2 together, single crochet, put the last 2 together, and so on. Please do that 4 more times. So once you get your 4 more done, that's it. So now you're just gonna trace the outside. In the top corners of the mouth there's gonna be 3 single crochets so that you can turn. You'll do it on the other side as well and then come back around. So just chain 1 and then evenly space your single crochets down the sides of the rows, and then in the top corner, as I said, just put in 3 single crochets and then just go across the top and so forth. So please do that all the way around. So once you get all the way back around, I just want you to slip stitch to the beginning one. Now just leave an extra long tail that can go all the way around the mouth to be able to sew it to the pillow, and then you're good to go. So this is the last particular motif for this particular emoji, and I'm not gonna sew it to the pillow because I wanna do all the emojis faces and have my pillow available to do for demonstration reasons. But anyway, just go through your loose ends, take those out, and let's put this together on the pillow. And I'm just gonna rough it out, but I'm not gonna sew it today. So there's other tutorials available, and all you just gotta do is just throw this into a tapestry needle and then just put it onto your pillow. So let's try it now. So using the photograph, just kind of eye things out and just put things together. And you're going to want to maybe just pin it down to the project as well, or pin it down so that you can see where things are gonna go, and then use the photograph to be able to highlight where things need to go as well. So there's your eyes, so you can kind of start seeing the smiling, and then you can get your tears of joy. Jeannie uses this emoji a lot because we say a lot of stupid stuff online which we find quite humorous, right Jeannie? Yep, that's right. So you're just gonna put this together. So you notice it kind of overlaps some of these, and don't forget the eyebrows. So the way that you position eyebrows is depending on the smile, of course. So if you put it down, it could be a mean happy happy face, or it could be a happy one, and you can just do all that too. Okay, so what you want to do is that you may want to pin it down. I would probably pin it down so that I'm making sure that I catch everything into the right spot, and of course just by changing positions you can change a total reaction as well. And yeah, so it's kind of fun. So this would be how you would do the Tears of Joy emoji. We hope that you enjoy, and sew this down to your project and enjoy, and don't forget to share your creativity with us on Facebook. Have a great day. We hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Bye bye. Captured you in a foggy cloud, baby.